Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, and most of all, welcome to the video. Thank you for clicking. So today we're going to be getting into um, maybe something could be true, maybe something could be not. I mean, rumors and hell, this could be clickbait and I could be screwed. But this title really got me interested, a remake, and because this tells me that Bethesda might be letting other companies do things with their, with Elder Scrolls, which could be beneficial to them and also to us as fans. So let's get into it, huh? Virtuos Games former employees can't seem to stop leaking information about its projects. Now, before I go any further, obviously I want to say that this could all really seriously um, be BS. So take everything that I'm about to read and talk about with kind of a grain of salt, because it could not be true at all, The Singapore based studio's involvement with the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 was leaked by former employees' LinkedIn page. It took years before Konami, I'm saying that wrong, confirmed this with the game's announcement earlier this year. Now, a former employee has deliberately dropped intel about what the studio was working on, which apparently includes a potential remake or remaster of The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That would be amazing. Let's see what else they say. Many will die on a hill that The Elder Scrolls Oblivion is the best game in the franchise. Um, I did like it. I did like Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Um, I thought it was really good, especially a lot of the DLCs, and I feel like compared to Skyrim, Oblivion was more fleshed out because it got all the DLCs that it was meant to. And I will die in a hill that Skyrim did not see its full potential because it did not get all the DLCs it was meant to get. Skyrim was definitely a good game. It's definitely a game that lasts longer because its graphics and things like that were kind of ahead of its time in a way, but that was also its downfall. It was ahead of its time to the point where Xbox and PlayStation consoles at the time couldn't hold all the DLCs. That was his major downfall. And one of the reasons why they had to move on from Skyrim is because they ran out of time. They had to move on to their next title. So, anyway, while Elder Scrolls Skyrim is the best selling game in the franchise and one of the best selling single player titles of all time, because they've released it 9,000 times, but it is pretty good. The Elder Scrolls Oblivion holds a special place in our hearts of long-lasting fans. Unfortunately, it hasn't aged well. It hasn't. Unless heavily modified, the Elder Scrolls Oblivion doesn't hold up compared to Skyrim, and that's very true. Like, you can go in and play Skyrim now, and it's 2023, and we're talking about a game that's over 12 years old now, and it's still graphically really good, and you can download mods to change whatever you can, but vanilla Skyrim is still actually pretty good. So I think but you go back, and even when Skyrim came out, I went back and played Oblivion, and it was like, oh my god. I feel like I went from Skyrim to like the original Mario 2D stuff. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. This is awful. How did I ever think this was a great game, like graphically ahead of its time? Like, it was probably barely. Anyway, thankfully, Virtuos Game is working on a way to fix this. Can I read this? Exploit the I'm not gonna read all this. According to a since deleted post by a since deleted user, interesting there. Virtuos Games is working on 5 different projects, arguably the biggest of which is Project Alter, which they're describing as remake slash remaster. I reversed those, didn't I? Of Oblivion. According to the source, it's still unclear if it's going to be a full remake, but the development team uses a pairing system using both an Unreal 5 project and an old Oblivion one. The user, who claims to work for Virtuos Game Paris, says the European studio is in charge of the project, but Black Shamrock is helping the studio for the art. The user believes that the remaster, I reverse those again, will be out before the year ends or early 2025, depending mostly on if it's a remake or a remaster. Hey, I got those in order. Interesting. Fans are, yeah. Sky Oblivion's been coming out for Sky Oblivion's been worked on since Skyrim came out. So, um, this is really interesting. While we recommend that you take most leaks with a grain of salt, absolutely. A mod for the R Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit verified the information of the source, proving that he's a former employee of Virtuos Games. Remakes aren't Bethesda Softworks or Bethesda Game Studios' usual MO. In fact, out of multiple re-releases and ports of the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Bethesda hasn't done a remake of an older title since Forever. And that's true. Then again, it isn't technically working on one. The development has been outsourced to Virtuoso Games. It is unclear if this project started development before or after Microsoft acquired ZeniMax Media, since Bethesda would still have to greenlight the projects since it owns the IP. On the off chance that a remake or remaster, God, why do I keep reversing those except for that one chance? Am I dumb? Don't answer that. Of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion is coming, it would go a long way in the tiding audiences over. Yeah, for Elder Scrolls 6. Bethesda is currently working hard. Working on Starfield, which, are you guys playing Starfield? I'm probably not going to. I saw what it cost in Steam, and that's a lot. And I'm a little worried about how big the game is, for several reasons, but like we'll get into that later. I'll probably do a separate video on that. The Elder Scrolls, which is in development, might be out as early as 2026, but don't count on Bethesda sticking to this release window too much. Most likely, the next entry is that we're going to by the time of PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox are out. So, this is so crazy. How long is this order? Okay, we're almost done. Yeah, okay. So I'll read the rest of them, and I'll give my thoughts here. As early as 2026, but according to what was it there's a court filing or court Xbox or Microsoft is in court right now with Activision and all that mess. But for some reason, Elder Scrolls 6 came out of all this, like talk of it. And the person said at the time that Elder Scrolls 6 is still about 5 years away. So that's like 2027, 2028. That's crazy. Aside from the remake or remaster of The Elder Scrolls Oblivion, the same employee has also made bold claims about what they say is an internal project that has the ambition of becoming a big AAA project that they're comparing to Capcom's Monster Hunter. And as Asobo Studios' Shadow of the Colossus. The third project, Cobra, is the upcoming remake. Okay, whatever. They're not talking about this anymore. Based on the source, the two projects closest to completion are The Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake and Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. If the former is indeed true, we're expecting an official reveal to happen at next year's Xbox Game Showcase. Microsoft is putting ZeniMax Media's many subsidiaries to work lately. Aside from Starfield, the studio under its umbrella are working on an unnamed ambitious project. Arcane Lion Studios, an unconfirmed single-player RPG at Arcane Austin Studio, the Indiana Jones game at Machine Studios, Elder Scrolls 6 at Bethesda Game Studios, and Fallout 5 at Bethesda Game Studios. Then there's also the other game that ZeniMax Online Studios is working on too, their other MMORPG. So that's also something. So what do you guys think of this information? I mean, I think it's smart because I think that they're seeing, the obvious benefits of, look at that, the obvious benefits of re-releasing Skyrim and how positive it's been for them. Why wouldn't they do something like this? I mean, I think I think the game that would make them, I mean, if they're gonna remake Oblivion, and if it's gonna be Unreal Engine 5 or any engine, you know, close to that, I think it's gonna be a beautiful game, and I can't wait for it to come out. And I'd actually be looking forward to it, you know, because us Elder Scrolls fans are starving. I love the Elder Scrolls series, and that's what makes Bethesda's stance so hard. Oh, hey, we don't have to release these things. It's okay. Like, are you serious? I mean, like, you're really gonna be releasing a game what, like once every 20 years? It's not exactly living for today. I mean, and I said, I think in another video, or maybe to myself or to some friends, that maybe they should outsource some of these things. You know, outsource some of these projects. I mean, that sucks to say, but who doesn't want the next Elder Scrolls game? Or maybe they should have made Elder Scrolls Blades that was available on mobile and Switch. Maybe they should have made that available everywhere, even if it was a smaller game. I think it would. I think still there's probably not a lot of Elder Scrolls fans that even know about that game. If you don't, go check it out. It's not that bad of a game, really. I've played it a little. It's pretty fun. But if they redo this, I think it would be. I think it'd actually be really great. Imagine if they do that, and then this company also does like the Elder Scrolls Morrowind or something. Oh man, that'd be so amazing. Because I've always said, like I said a few minutes ago, they should outsource these things like they did with Fallout New Vegas. Keep If you want to do some of the bigger main titles, um, every we'll say 7 8 years. Okay, I mean it's realistic, right? Makes sense. To try to basically like right now they're working on Starfield, right? But I think also they have a small team working on Elder Scrolls. They have a small team working on Fallout 5. That way, the transition doesn't mean when they're done with Starfield, it doesn't mean it's going to take them 3 4 5 years to do Elder Scrolls. They've already been working on it. You know, Same thing with like the next Fallout. Like when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, they can just jump right into Fallout 5, and it's not going to take them 12,000 years because they've already been working on it. That's a smart approach. But another smart approach is letting other studios, even other studios in your own wheelhouse, maybe, but other studios like Virtuos Games or Obsidian, who did Fallout New Vegas, if they want to do something with Elder Scrolls or Fallout or whatever, I think you just kind of have to let them and be like, okay, as long as it doesn't completely screw our title, even if it does, we can, even if, like, let's say Virtuoso somehow screws up Oblivion. I don't know how you could screw up a remake, but let's just say they do, right? Well, Bethesda could just say, hey, well, I mean, we outsourced it to them. That's not on us. We just okayed them to do it. So it washes their hands of it. Imagine if Fallout New Vegas didn't really work out. Well, Bethesda didn't make it. They just said that Obsidian could do something with the title if they wanted to. I think that's what they need to do. I think to keep gamers' minds fresh. Because think about think about this, okay? If you were, let's say, for math's sake, you were 15 in 2011. Okay. 10 years have passed. It's now 2021. You're now 25. 2 years more, 2023. You're 27 years old. You're out of college. You're starting your career. Maybe you're building your family. Maybe you've already started building your family. You went from high schooler playing Skyrim, video games, having fun, maybe even like some of us just gamers, right? To having a family and responsibilities, and maybe you're still a gamer at heart. Maybe you still want to play, or you do still play, but you definitely can't dedicate dedicate like the amount of time it needs. It's just I think overall the distance between games is a little too much. So this is smart, and I'm excited for this. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you in the next video.